solving some type of an objective, it's not bad content. You can't have too much of that. So, I mean, so maybe from your standpoint, all that's working for the strategy, fantastic. So the concern that I have is that quality for just, we need so much blog content for search engine traffic and blah, blah, blah. And we have all our employees doing it. Sometimes that can work well if the training's right and the content works for your strategy. But volume for volume alone doesn't work. I mean, I'm sure that's kind of what the answer is. I mean, Margot would, and even Christina has said, I mean, less is more. Sometimes less is more. I mean, we don't, and I don't know, I don't even know what your take is on that, but there can be a point where it's too much and it's hurting what you're trying to do. So you have to figure out the right balance. If you're a media company, think of yourself as a media company. Think of let's say that your standard products, you have an e-newsletter, you have webinars, you have a custom magazine. Webinars is a really good example for a media company. List burn is a huge issue. You cannot send out more than, let's say, 3 or 4 emails a week to your customer database, or you burn out your list. So your really good customers, your readers, they tune you out. So you have to figure out what that is. And if you gear that up, let's say you start doing 2 a day, you will see readership drop. So there's a balance to that. So if you're doing too much content from that standpoint, then you've got a problem. But first thing is it's got to be quality. But I think there is a balance to it. Yeah.
I think you said it back in the beginning of your presentation, and it's kind of one of the guides that I've always used is the word compelling. You know, and I say that I've seen some of the stuff that you guys have. It's all kind of interesting, but have that filter of, is this compelling? Is it going to change my customer's perception of us, of the marketplace? Is it going to do something? Is it going to incite action in them? And that it will make a meaningful change in what they think about, you know, something. And I think that there'd probably be, in that 24 hours, I think about 20 hours of it would be wiped out if people held just that simple standard. And that's where I think the process is so important. Back to if you talk about the editorial process as part of the content strategy, is so important because have it be compelling, and you want to, let's say that you're on a schedule of 3 blogs a week or a blog every day, that is very, very difficult to do. So why you? That's my question. I'm kind of hoping to learn is why would you be on a schedule like that if you're just putting out stuff to put it out?
Well, then I would say it's the wrong strategy. If it's not. So I'll personalize this because I deal with it every week. I've been blogging for 4 years now, well over 500 posts, and I've never done less than 2 posts a week. But I still sit there sometimes on Friday, and I say, if I can't come up with something compelling, then I don't do it. No, it might have been maybe some of those obviously weren't compelling, but that was the goal. Is that this is part of the strategy. These are concepts that will move my customer in this way or that way, and I feel that it's compelling, or we feel as a team that it's the right message to send out based on knowing the customer's informational needs and what our marketing objectives are. But it's not easy. But I'd be the first one to say, and we've done this before with the Content Marketing Institute blogs. We've actually stopped, and because our chief editor says, it's 9:30. We got to go out. And I'd say, it's not good enough. Somebody's got to stop that. We've got quality control. That is not good enough. It doesn't go on. Good enough is not enough. It has to be great, or at least we have to aspire to greatness for our content. Because as soon as you slip to mediocre, you probably lost a percentage of your readership, and they'll never come back. And when I say readership, I mean customers and prospects. I'm thinking about it from a media company standpoint.
All this talk about emails, and we all get emails from businesses, organizations when we buy something. I think a really good example of that kind of less is more mentality is recently I bought a pair of shoes from this website, and I got it. So suddenly I'm on their email list or whatever, and I now get like their emails. Well, one day I was just, and I never tend to read these emails from random, places that I buy stuff, but, I clicked on the email, and all it said was, these sneakers will not make your butt toned, or something like that. Like, it was just like this headline that just literally made me laugh out loud, and like, now, and that's all it was. There was no like litany of like 50 things, click here, do this, all these other calls to action. It was just something like, boom, and then like, I mean, you obviously click the graphic, you go to the website, see if there's other new sneakers or whatever. But it was like, they had me, and now it's to the point where when an email comes in from them, like, I want to hear what they have to say. Like now, like, they gave me 5 words in an email, and now I want to see what they have to say, like a sneaker company. Like, who wants to know what a sneaker company has to say? But I think that's a prime example of how it doesn't take a lot to get them in.
Well, it could take just an image. I mean,
right. Well,
we
yeah.
talk
Then you
about
get into
what is content, right?
Right.
It's text, it's a word, it's a pixel, it's all kinds of things that can make a difference. Luke, did you have a question?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of questions circling on my head. I'll start with